بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have Tawfiq to continue our study of Kitab al-Sabr wa Shukr from Al-Mahjjah al-Baydaa, Volume 7, page 181. We have a small part remaining from the fifth division, the fifth classification about Niʿmah. And this remaining part is about ability of some people to take lessons from what they see. Sometimes events happen and we take lessons, we use them for our future and we improve. Sometimes things happen and we are not able to see anything, we are not able to take any lesson because of some internal problems that we have, that we are not able to take ibrah, to take lessons from what happens. So the book says we have alam mulk and alam malakut. As you remember, the last point was about seeing something in mirror. You see the mirror first, but then you should be able to understand through what you see in mirror the reality which is outside. Alam mulk, this physical world, is facing malakut, is like a mirror showing malakut. We don't have, unfortunately, direct access to malakut. We have to take our encounter with alam mulk as a bridge, as a way, as a mirror to see what is happening in malakut. But sometimes we don't see anything except what is worldly, what is physical, what is material. It means that we are not able to go beyond alam mulk. So he says, وَكَذَلِكَ عَالَمُ الْمُلْكِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ محاكٍ لعالم الغيب والملكوت. In a similar way that we talked about mirror, the universe of mulk, this physical world, which is the universe of shahada, you see, you sense, is corresponding to the universe of ghaib, the hidden things, the things which are unseen, spirits and spiritual things, and malakut. فَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُسِّرَ لَهُ نَظَرُ الْإِعْتِبَارِ. For some people it has been made possible and easy to look at mulk and alam shahada, but take lessons and go beyond. فَلَا يَنْظُرُ فِي شَيْءٍ مِّنْ عَالَمِ الْمُلْكِ إِلَّا وَيَعْبُرُ بِهِ إِلَىٰ عَالَمِ الْمَلَكُوتِ. He or she does not look at anything from this dunya unless he is able to pass by dunya and look at malakut. For example, if he or she has a success, he is reminded of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and akhirah. If has a failure, he's reminded of Allah and akhirah. Is he ill, is healthy, he has food, very delicious food to eat, he has no food to eat. All the times he or she is thinking about what this implies for his akhirah, what this implies for his journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا ينظر في شيء من عالم الملك. He does not look at anything from this physical, worldly, the lowest level of existence, which is dunya. He doesn't look at anything إلا ويعبر به إلى عالم الملكut, unless he is able to go through this to the universe of malakut, the kingdom of Allah, where a spiritual and abstract or mujarradat are. فَيُسَمَّى عُبُورُهُ ibrah. Abara ya'buru in Arabic means to pass. This type of passage from mulk to malakut is called ibrah. We say, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ. Ibrah means to take a lesson. But why it is called ibrah? Because your mind has to transfer from one level of reality to a higher level of reality. We see someone is failing or someone is successful, we are able to learn from this something higher. This is ibrah. But if you just memorize something and literally repeat it, it is not called ibrah. You can say, I memorized my lesson, but you cannot say, I took ibrah. Yeah? We give you, for example, some rules of education. If you learn these rules, you don't say, I took ibrah. But if by listening to them, you go to a higher level of understanding, you take a practical lesson for yourself, this is called ibrah. وَقَدْ أُمِرَ الْخَلْقُ بِهِ. People are asked to take ibrah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَاعْتَبِرُوا يَا أُولِي الْأَبْصَارِ. Or those who have vision, those who have sight, those who are able to see, those who are not blind in their heart, you should take ibrah. If you don't take ibrah, means in our heart we are not able to see. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ عَمِيَتْ بَصِيرَتُهُ فَلَمْ يَعْتَبِرْ. And there are people who have no vision, no insight, no basira. Their eyes are okay physically, no problem in their sight. The physical sight is okay. Ibrah is not a matter of physical sight, it's a matter of heart. منهم من عميت بصيرته, not basaruhu, basiratuhu. His insight, his vision is blinded. فاحتبس في عالم الملك والشهادة. He is imprisoned in dunya. He cannot transfer himself to the higher level. وَسَتَنْفَتِحُ إِلَىٰ حَبْسِهِ أَبْوَابُ جَهَنَّمَ. And to his or her prison, the gates of hell are open. If we remain in dunya, the gates of hell are open to the people who are present in dunya. But there are people who live in this world, but their heart is higher, functioning higher. So they are not suffering. هذا الحبس ممتلئ نارا. This prison of dunya is full of fire, is filled with fire. And this fire من شأنها أن تطلع على الأفئدة is a special fire. It doesn't just burn your body. This fire has this characteristic that it can reach your heart. It can affect your heart. But إلا أن بينه وبين إدراك ألمها حجابا. But at the moment there is a veil, there is a cover, and cannot see fire burning his heart. He's in prison and his eyes, but eyes of heart, are covered, cannot see that fire is burning him. فَإِذَا رُفِعَ ذَلِكَ الْحِجَابُ بِالْمَوْتِ. When he dies and that veil is removed. لَقَدْ كَشَفْنَا عَنْكَ قِطَاعَكَ فَبَصَّرُكَ الْيَوْمَ حَدِيدٌ. Then he would realize what damage he has caused to himself. فَإِذَا رُفِعَ ذَلِكَ الْحِجَابُ بِالْمَوْتِ أَدْرَكَ. He would realize. وعن هذا أظهر الله تعالى الحق على لسان قوم استنطقهم بالحق فقالوا الجنة والنار مخلوقتان. So some people that they have been given understanding and Allah has made them able to speak, they have said this as a matter of fact, that hell and heaven, al-jannatu wan-nar, makhluqatan. We have said this many times in Aqaid and other courses. Hell and heaven are not going to be created. They are created and they exist right now. Maybe we are not able to see them, but they are there. كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم. And he says, علم اليقين is for people who have yaqeen in dunya, and عين اليقين about Jahannam is for the people that after death can see the Jahannam. Of course, there are people that even in dunya may be able to see, but that's very rare. But it's possible. But he tries to say, ilmul yaqeen can happen in dunya for people who have certainty, but certainty which is not the maximum certainty. Like you see a smoke and you know there is fire. Okay? So you have certainty there is fire. Sometimes you see the fire. And sometimes you feel fire. Fire is burning your hand or finger. So there are different levels of yaqeen. In dunya, we can have ilmul yaqeen. Of course, this is what the book says. After death, we can have aynul yaqeen. The matter of seeing, yaqeen, which is coming by seeing. So, why we said all this? As you remember, the point that led us to this discussion was to say that people who can be qualified for mulk in dunya are not many, and people who are qualified for mulk in akhirah are also not many. And this was, of course, our main interest. The people that their heart is only appreciating intellectual blessings and pleasure are not that many. So this is the remaining part from previous classification. Now we start al-qisma as-sadisa, the sixth classification. These are aqsam for ni'mah. We can divide, classify ni'mah in different ways. One way is this one. We want to mention something that can include all different types of ni'mah. اعلم أن النعم تنقسم إلى ما هي غاية مطلوبة لذاتها وإلى ما هي مطلوبة لأجل الغاية. Blessings and bounties, ni'mah, are sometimes things which are wanted for themselves. Sometimes they are wanted for something else. Sometimes you have an end, you have a ghaya for which you want this. So they are like instruments. So sometimes they have matlubiyat zati, they are wanted and desired because of themselves. Sometimes they are wanted because they help us reach something else. That is primarily wanted, and this is secondarily wanted. So, أن النعم تنقسم إلى ما هي غاية مطلوبة لذاتها. Something which is by itself a ghaya. In philosophy, we recently been discussing ghaya, end, and it is wanted by itself. وإلى, the second type is ما هي مطلوبة لأجل الغاية. It's not wanted for itself, it's wanted for something else. Okay? Sometimes you want, for example, knowledge. You learn because you love knowledge. Sometimes you learn because that is the way to get your job. If you were able to get your job without this knowledge, you would have not learned. Yeah? So these are different ways. وَيَرْجِعُ. Okay. أَمَّا الْغَايَةِ. What is the ni'mah which is wanted for itself? By itself is an end, is ideal. Sa'adatul akhirah. Happiness in the hereafter, felicity, salvation, whatever you call it. Sa'adah, it's something which is a blessing, as a ni'mah, and you don't want that for something else. You don't want sa'adah in akhirah for getting, I don't know, job or promotion or whatever. What is sa'ada in akhirah? What is happiness in akhirah? It's a beautiful sentence here. He says there are 4 elements that make you happy in akhirah. It refers to 4 elements. يرجع حاصلها إلى 4 أمور. Sa'ada in akhirah can be reduced to 4 points. Involves 4 points. 1. بقاء لا فناء له. Permanence. There is no end for it. There is no expiration. Because even if you have very good situation, but it is going to finish, you are not enjoying 100%. Even if you are not sure whether it is going to finish or not, you are not going to enjoy 100%. So whether you know it is limited, or even if you doubt, you suffer. Yeah? So, بَغَاءٌ لَا فَنَاءَ لَهُ. A kind of permanence, eternity that has no end. And this is why in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in some verses says that when people go to heaven, they are called they are told, you are there خالدين فيها. You can be there without worrying about some time coming that you have to leave. وسرور لا غم فيه. And there is a joy without any sadness. Sometimes we have joy but mixed with sadness. For example, imagine you have two children who live away from you, and one of them now has come to visit you. You have joy that he is or she is with you now, but you are sad that the other one is not here. You are also sad that this is also going to finish soon. He has to go away. Yes? So it's very mixed experience. In dunya, we don't have 100% pleasure or happiness. Every pleasure in dunya is surrounded with difficulties and with pain in different ways. Pain in getting to that point. Pain when you have it but you lack other things, and pain afterwards because it is over. Yeah, so you go, for example, for a very good ziyarah, but you have difficulties over there. You have difficulties after you come back because now you miss being there. And so everything is surrounded. Or for example, if someone is able to meet Imam Zaman Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, is very blessed, very happy, but at the same time very sad because he knows that this is going to finish soon. And also he is sad that why Imam is in that condition, why we are not able to be always. So even spiritual blessings of dunya are surrounded with limitations, let alone worldly pleasure. So Sa'adatul Akhirah yarji'u can be reduced to four things. Bagha'un la fana'a fi. Second, sururun la ghamma fi. Joy in which there is no grief, no sadness. Wa ilmun la jahla ma'ahu. Knowledge without ignorance. In dunya, whatever we know, we also at the same time suffer because there are things that we don't know. Who is alim? We think alim is the one who knows. But maybe we can say alim is the one who has more questions. Yeah. Because the more you know, the more horizons are open to you. Imagine you are outside a room, for example. So you are very much wondering what is behind this door. So people who are outside, they have one question: what is behind this door? But the one who goes behind this door sees that there are 10 doors. He has more questions. And then if he manages to open all these 10 doors, then behind each is 10 doors. It becomes 100 doors. So you can understand knowledge of someone by understanding how much question he has. And this is why one of the reasons why we say those who have knowledge become more thirsty for knowledge, because they learn more about their limit in understanding and they want to understand more. So In akhirah we have ilmun la jahla ma'ahu. There is ilm without jahl. Wa ghinan la faqra ba'dahu. And there is rich after which there is no poverty. So you are rich forever. So these are four things that come together in pleasures in akhirah, sa'ada in akhirah. You have baqa, you have complete surur, complete knowledge, and you have complete rich ghina. وَهِيَ النِّعْمَةُ الْحَقِيقِيَّةُ. This is true blessing. Because it is pure. Pure from pain and limitation. Then he mentions that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on different occasions and in different circumstances highlighted the unique position of blessings of akhirah. He said, La aisha illa aisha al-akhirah. Aish sometimes means life, but sometimes can mean pleasure. There is no pleasure, or you can say there is no life with pleasure except in akhirah. He said this on different occasions. For example, he says, قَالَ ذَلِكَ مَرَّةً فِي الشِّدَّةِ. When it was a time of difficulty, a time of bala, he said, لا عيش إلا عيش الآخرة. لماذا؟ تسلية للنفس, to comfort his soul and soul of other people. He said, don't worry about dunya. Our real life and pleasure has yet to come. Yeah? So, if you are faced with difficulties in dunya, think about akhirah. Another occasion was وَذَلِكَ فِي وَقْتِ حَفْرِ الْخَنْدَقِ فِي شِدَّةِ الضُّرِّ. That was when they were making the Khandaq, the channel outside Medina, and it was time of difficulty and fear of enemies' attack. But وَمَرَّةً فِي السُّرُورِ. He said the same, not literally the same, but similar thing. When they were very happy, Muslims were very happy. Because when you are very happy also you have to remember akhirah, so that you don't become arrogant, you don't become proud of yourself, you don't take things for granted and forget akhirah. So when you are very happy, remember akhirah. When you are very sad, remember akhirah. When you are very happy, go to graveyard. When you are very sad, also go to graveyard. When you are very happy, go to hospital and visit people who are seriously ill. And when you are very sad, also do the same. Because it brings you to balance and doesn't let you to become arrogant and inordinate. وَمَرَّةً فِي السُّرُورِ. He said this once in the time of joy and happiness. مَنْعًا لِلنَّفْسِ مِنَ الرُّكُونِ إِلَى سُرُورِ الدُّنْيَا. To stop nafs of himself and people from leaning towards dunya and finding the refuge in dunya. وَذَلِكَ عِنْدَ إِحْدَاقِ النَّاسِ بِهِ فِي حَجَّةِ الْوِدَاعِ. When Rasulullah in farewell Hajj was surrounded by many, many people, a person said, Allahumma inni as'aluka tamam al-ni'mah. Oh Allah, I ask you completion of ni'mah. Rasulullah asked him, do you know what is tamamun ni'mah? Hal ta'lamu ma tamamun ni'mah? Do you know what is tamamun ni'mah? He said, no. He said, I don't know. Rasulullah said, tamamun ni'mah dukhulul jannah. So don't think this worldly success or victory or even success in religious affairs in dunya. For example, alhamdulillah, we have been managing lots of good activities in dunya, in community, religious affairs, tabligh, whatever. We should not think this is the last thing or the most important thing. This is not yet complete. Okay, this is about ghaya. The things that we want, either we want it for itself or for something else. And the best thing is sa'adatul akhirah, which is wanted for itself. Then we have another discussion about wasa'il, about means. The things that we want for other things, instruments, means. Okay? These are requirements to reach our ghayat, our ends. أما الوسائل فتنقسم إلى الأقرب الأخص. And then he continues إلى ما يليه في القرب. وسائل, the means are divided according to their nearness to us. For example, the first thing he mentions is al-aqrab al-akhas, the nearest means, which are very special. كفضائل النفس. Your best means are your nearest means, which are your virtues. You say, alhamdulillah, I have very good car, which helps me. I have very good computer, which helps me. I have very good, table that I can study on. But more than all these things, you can benefit from your own virtues. So, the nearest means are fada'ilun nafs. And these are the things that previously in the first year in Akhlaq also we mentioned, that they remain with you. Even when you depart from dunya, your faza'il come with you. Yeah? Your fada'il come with you, and you will be resurrected with your fada'il, your virtue. Second, وَإِلَى مَا يَلِيهِ فِي الْقُرْبِ. What comes after it in nearness? After fada'ilun nafs, we have fada'ilul badan. If you have some strengths in your body, that is also very good. It's much more important than having money or good machine or good computer. If your body is healthy and strong, you have good hearing, good seeing, faza'ilul badan. After that, we go outside. Nafs, badan. Then after that, things that are outside ourselves, outside soul and body. And that is things which are related or surrounding our body, like money. Money is also an important instrument. Money is not end. Money is not ghaya, but it's good help, good instrument. Wal ahl, wal ashira, family, extended family or tribe or group, they can help a lot. Not necessarily all the time, because sometimes they can be also liability. But sometimes they can help. And then وإلى ما يجمع بين هذه الأسباب الخارجة عن النفس وبين الحاصلة للنفس. And then we have things that bring together these means which are related to us internally or externally. There are things other than these three categories which bring these together and help us to benefit from them. Like Tawfiq. Where do you put Tawfiq? Tawfiq is not fazila for nafs, it's not a virtue here, it's not fazila in body, and it's not like money or ahl and ashira, which is external. Tawfiq is very important means that you need it for all these things to work for you. If you have everything but not tawfiq, you are not able to benefit. And unfortunately, tawfiq is something that people who are only limited to material world and to physical sciences, they don't understand. What is tawfiq? You know, I think if you go to most of schools of education in the world, most of them, not all of them, because there are some traditional spiritual schools of education, they are different. But if you go to the modern schools of education, philosophy of education, and you ask them how a learner becomes successful, they give you a list. In that list, they mention good teacher, good curriculum, good resource material, good, environment. All these things, but you don't see any mention of tawfiq. Because for them, it doesn't matter who is the teacher or learner, what is their intention, what is their approach. They don't list tawfiq. But if you ask someone who is familiar with Islamic education, what is the most important thing for success of a learner? For a talabir, what is the most important thing? You say tawfiq. This doesn't mean that you don't need to study. Of course you have to study. You should try to find best teacher, best books, best schools, everything. But without tawfiq, you cannot go beyond certain limits. Tawfiq is different. Two students go to the same, suppose Ayatullah, same Allama. So there is best teacher for both of them. And they have the same intelligence, and maybe actually the other one has more intelligence. But one has tawfiq, the other one doesn't have tawfiq. The one who has tawfiq is not stopped by problems, and more importantly, is able to benefit from what he learns and put into practice what he learns and shares what he learns. The other one has studied a lot, but you see no benefit, no impact. How can you, yes?
How does tawfiq happen?
This is very, very important question. Maybe next week we can talk about tawfiq, inshallah, because it's very, very important. For example, you see people write books, even sometimes on the same subject. For example, many people have written books on dua, but one becomes Mafatihul Jannah by Sheikh Abbas Qum. What is the secret of success of Mafatihul Jannah? You cannot say he was more knowledgeable than all people who had written books on dua. His knowledge was good, but he was not the most knowledgeable. Or you cannot say, he had a special talents that no one else had. He was very talented, but not very special and unique. There are other secrets in the world that people of dunya cannot see. A very important factor is sincerity. Sincerity is very, very important. But there are also other things. Inshallah, I will talk maybe next week more about Tawfiq, what relation you have with your parents, what relation you have with your teachers, what relation you have with people. There are so many elements that contribute to Tawfiq. And for losing Tawfiq, it's enough not to have one of them. If you have best relation, for example, with everyone, but your parents are angry with you. You are very good with your teacher. You are very good with people. You are very sincere even, but you annoy your parents. No Tawfiq. Or other things. For Tawfiq, we need many things to come together. But for losing them, as we said in philosophy, if one part of illat tamma is not there, the whole ma'lul cannot happen. Okay. So inshallah we will talk about Tawfiq. Just I finish this sentence. Wal-Hidāyā. Another thing is Hidāyā. So this is the fourth category. These are the things that we need. They are not like faza'il fi nafs or badan or things outside like mal and ashir and ahl. These are things that are to bring all this together. Tawfiq wal hidayah, guidance. You need guidance. Again, guidance is something that people who have only materialistic view, they don't understand what is guidance. They think guidance is only measured by numbers and figures. Guidance is something that even if you are a sinful person, for example, you can learn how to do something. But we believe that there are many, many subtle issues. There are many, many turning points that if you don't have guidance, sooner or later you go to wrong direction. You need guidance. Sometimes you do things and then they don't reach the result. There is a beautiful ayah in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those who are denying the truth and they are insisting on kufr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala misguides their actions. In Surah Qital, Surah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yudhillu a'malahum. Their actions are misguided, or adalla a'malahum, I doubt it. Anyway, actions are misguided. How can actions be misguided? We think people can be misguided, but not actions. My understanding is this. People who have materialistic view, they say when you want to shoot an arrow, see the target properly, use the best, what they call this, kaman, arrow, bow, use the best bow, look carefully, avoid windy, climate, and breathe, for example, and then stop and say it, for example. I'm not expert on that, but I assume these are the things they say. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Everything you consider is till the second that you release the arrow. But Islamically, we believe that even after shooting the arrow, still your relation with Allah can change the direction of the arrow. Even if you made some mistake, Allah would lead the arrow to the target. وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. Even sometimes a sincere person, not all the time, so no one should take this as a kind of excuse to make mistake. Okay, no one has a right to make mistake in this sense. But it happens. Sometimes a very sincere and wise leader, after thinking, after consultation, after fairness, after open-mindedness, after all these things, make a decision, but it is mistake. But Allah guides his decision. And by enemies making mistake, his arrow hits. And sometimes a person makes a right decision, but Allah make his arrow miss the target. This is أَضَلَّ أَعْمَالًا. So Hidāyā and Tawfiq are very, very important. I think this is important. So let's stop here and inshallah reflect more next week. So we reached page 182. We are in the middle of the page. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.